Yo, everybody.
I'm
This is
baffled,
episode
dog.
30.
Baffled, man.
Yeah, this
You
is
know,
episode 30 of the Constant Elevation
I'm
Show.
definitely ready to get in. Let me turn this shit up right now.
Ready?
Yeah, why
Can
would
you hear me
you
all
thought
right?
I was ready to build on this, man? You already know.
Yo, can you hear?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you gave a real detailed text message. So we're gonna get into it because I'm curious to see where you want to go with it. Because it's always I always think you're gonna go a certain way, and I should know by now that you're not gonna go the way I think you're gonna go. And my head be spinning. So
You already know.
let's get into it. Everybody, this is episode 30, Constant Elevation. My name is Tamal. We got the legendary brother Jay.
Yes, sir.
We're
Yes, sir.
playing Black Watch. Let's get it. And this is our monthly build on topics related to hip hop, but we go deep, and it's not just some bullshit. And tonight's topic is a good one. And so, real quick, first of all, if you guys got any questions, please use the questions feature below. We can pull them up and kind of help add to the build. If your cousin used to do Brother Jay's hair on the stoop in Brooklyn, a long time ago, save that for another build. It's not the time for it. We got a good topic tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about veterans, legends, selling out. What does that mean? What does it look like? We're gonna kind of dig into a few areas there. One thing I wanted to point out before we started, man, because a lot of people hit me up, family, and they were like, oh, because you know how I'm a little raw on the page, so they like, oh, you're gonna be y'all naming names, yo, yeah, get them. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. And I'm just gonna say, yo, this is not just we're not doing this show to just air people out. If a name comes up, but it's not gonna be in the spirit of this ain't fucking Breakfast Club or whatever the fuck.
Word. That's right. That's good. That's well said, man. We're not here to blast on people because, as we're gonna build on, there's no rules. Nobody made no constitution of hip hop, and you got to do A, B, and C. But there's a matter of business, and that's what we're gonna get in today. We're not here to bag on anybody because I can do a list. I was gonna start clowning and sending you pictures and shit like, and this one and this one and this one. And I said, you know what? Let me reserve, be right. You know what I'm saying? Be merciful and shit, and just understand people come here to do business, and that's what it is.
Right.
And for some, there's no limit. There's no line in the sand. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hate, but it's just that, you gotta kind of, you in or you not.
Right.
You with building this thing, or you with the people trying to do wild shit to our kids and lead them wrong. They don't have no sense of history in the game. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And as cats keep selling out, you would think that Nas and Nas X smoke blunts together or something, the way that the way they doing songs and shit, and for somebody who's saying, yo, New York original hip hop, to see what they're stamping and shit, it confuses the people who really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So, but business is business, and we'll go into it. I'm not gonna skip into the shit, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And it was funny because when you said no limit, there really is no limit on this shit. And I was thinking about no limit, and no shit they made. There's no limit on the shit the trash you can make or whatever you can make. And you got to understand too, not everybody has the same priorities that we have or whatever, right? So like, it's not like, how dare anybody think that, people are in this for different reasons, a lot of different reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's two sides to that shit, because the people that fuck with you are not necessarily the ones that invest in you. Like, they'll cheer you and throw you a free thumb and a heart, but when you talk about the downloads and things of that level, when you do go into the commercial arena a little further, because it's all commercial. If it's available, it's commercial.
Right, right.
Some kind of brand or app or something is pushing it. So, let's not get it twisted unless you're standing on the corner or doing like Too Short, Need 40 back in the days out the trunk or something. You're going to be dealing with a commercial entity, man, but selling to it and then doing what it asks you to do, like, wear a purse, wear a dress, this and that, and you never came off like that. If you came out in hoodies and Timbs, and then all of a sudden, we sense an agenda when you switch up. So this generation doesn't have a pause on that. You got cats who just coming out like, yo, I'm gay now, and that, and ain't got nothing toward it, but they trying to get a check. They think that's the way to get paid.
Fuck They're like, fuck it, I don't care. I'll put on a tutu and some hockey skates and whatever the fuck, and
You already know.
we
You
good.
already know.
So,
So 1,000 ways to sell out, my lord. You know.
word. So before we get started, I always think it's important so that we're on the same page and everybody's on the same page with us to, at least for the sake of this conversation, agree on the term sellout and what that means. So real quick, what's your definition of that? For me, it's really basically, it's not about just making commercial music. I don't give a shit. It's that has nothing to do with it. It's, to me, like you said, it's presenting an image about you. You come from real shit. Not even presenting. You come from real shit. Whether it's just music, it's not about being conscious. Even just the music, right? You come from real shit, and then you switch it up to get a check, or you switch it up for the convenience, or you dabble in both. When you know that one shit's gonna get you a check, other shit's gonna keep your little underground fans happy. That type of shit. That's kind of how I look at it. So
that's right. I agree. I concur with that. And what I say is just simply just abandoning your originality. You know, abandoning how, you know, we want to see you grow as we accepted you. You know what I'm saying? So unless you was coming in, you know, faking and shit, you know, some people get caught up in that, come out and try to be something else, and people attach, and then you end up still being fake. That's selling out as well. You know, there's so many multiple ways that we can see this. But, you know, if you come out of way, we don't always want to see you in hoodies and Timbs, you're getting old and whatnot, but we want to see the evolution of that. You know what I'm saying? If you came out killing and shooting and whatnot, you know, what's the other side of that? You gonna kill and shoot until your grave, dog?
exactly.
That don't make sense. So we want to have something that offers kind of an evolution.
Right. At least we just want to see genuine you as an artist.
Yeah,
that's it.
Real shit. So, you know, look at groups like De La Soul. You know, when they first came out, people accepted them, and then they kept evolving. The beats got harder, the lyrics got doper. You know what I'm saying? They were evolving to a pace. That's what we wanted to see in hip hop. But the people that were selling them wanted to keep some kind of hippie boy type of shit, and that's not what it was. I'm blues from New York, man. You know, and then they scientists of crafts and breaks. You know, it looks good and all of that. It's all peaceful and everything, and no hate, but you're not gonna make them no hippies and shit. They not California surfing and and skateboarding and shit like that. You know, they doing that shit in the hoods of Long Island and whatnot. So people misinterpret, and when they get more into your craft, then they can adjust to say, okay, I saw this wrong because he had a flower shirt. I thought it was Woody Wop, but these niggas are hard. You know what I'm saying? You give us room for you to evolve, but the music today doesn't give us room to think what does this sound like in 10 years? Exactly. Lil Wayne now sound like Lil Wayne then. You know what I'm saying? Voice got a little deeper, and now he's talking about actual adventures instead of dreams. That's the evolution that we see creative wise. But otherwise, you know, it hasn't helped us in the long run. We got a little bit less money in our pocket, man, but you know, where's the inspiration in it all? So I think that's selling out, when you're not giving something, you're just giving a blueprint of success that was given for you. I can't follow that. I'm not gonna have nobody come and snatch me up out of the projects and put a couple mil under my shit and say, go ahead and take over the world. You know, that's not realistic.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
You know, to follow and shit. So it kind of abandons us when you get to that zone, and then you turn back and say, well, I've never seen racism. I've never seen such and such. That's another level of selling out, where you just abandon what it was when you was down here starving with us. You know, you talking about New Orleans, that's worse than any hood I've ever lived in. You know what I'm saying? The way they getting down on that side where he talking about. And I'm saying, you've never seen what? You know, y'all very existence is, you know, racist. You know, the way that they set y'all up. At any day, them levees could have bust many times, bro. That wasn't no brand new shit. So y'all live under, you know, scabby conditions and shit, and then you come up and say, nah, I don't know what that means. Wow. You leave us out there. So artists that are abandoning their intelligence, to me, are selling out. When your lyrics don't evolve and your first rhyme sound like your last, to me, that's selling out. You know, and not standing up where it needs to be done. You know, you don't need to wear, you know, your neighborhood's downfall on your sleeve and whatnot, but you know, you got to put something in there to make us, you know, stand up and improve. You got the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Whatever artist you are, there's a moment in time when people listen to your shit, and that's the spotlight for that moment. What are you giving them? You know, if it's fluff, then you just as bad as the enemy, bro.
At the bare minimum, at least don't bring us down.
Correct.
Shit.
Correct, bro.
Like,
I'm just
at least
that.
just hold the line. Shit. Somebody else can, you know what I mean? Like, don't help us. You know, we're already in the fucking hole. So, so all right, cool. So I'm glad we established those definitions. So let's kind of go back to, and we kind of, I look at it as like two areas, and we can, you know, jump in where, you know, you can, where you see fit.
Sure.
So the first area I wanted to kind of get into was just, kind of when and why, where did it start? We've talked about that a little bit, you know what I'm saying, in some prior shows, and just really these, it just baffles, I'll say this real quick. It baffles me when I see cats that I grew up listening to that were either conscious at first, I guess that didn't work out with the sales, and then the next album you come out like with 8Ks. I'm like, it doesn't, it's like, it doesn't compute, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
what, like, let's go back to the beginning. Where do you see like origins of this starting to happen, and why?
Well, you know, I remember our conversation when we first started this. We was talking about hip hop and R&B, and Cass was doing like them long verses on a Bobby Brown song, or, you know, even as back as, you know, Melly Mel hollering about Shaka Khan, you know, hollering on a beat that we don't really necessarily play in our neighborhood. It may come on the radio, but cats ain't getting around the cypher, say, yo, let's put on that Melly Mel, Shaka Khan, whatever the fuck. It wasn't that kind of a record. So you kind of spilled over into that crossover situation at that time frame. If you look at it, you know what I'm saying? But these cats was doing it for soundtracks. You know what I'm saying? You usually hear a song like that on a movie soundtrack rather than it's the #1 single on the street or whatever. That music didn't fly with me. It sounded like, you know, we chilling in a bar, elevator music type kid. And not to diss the song, but it just wasn't hood like Melly was dropping the message and shit like that. We used to him there. So now when you show the crossover and you say, yo man, get up here, Shaka Khan, and you start doing some Mamba music type situation, the consumer starts to see, well, damn, you know, if it hadn't been for him crossing over doing A, B, and C, then he might not have been as big as whatever. They got to go back and do their history. The message was like #1. You know what I'm saying? That was straight bang street music that still had commercial appeal. That means someone commercial can sponsor them. You know, that can get them out on the road further, stuff like that. When I see commercial working with street music like that, not like him going there talking about, yo, I'll hold Coca-Cola up in my video, you know, give me some money to go out, whatever. That's, you know, that's opportunist. You know what I'm saying? When the sponsor can come to you and your song is a favorite of the neighborhood in the street, you know, that's when you want to bump that, not them manufacturing a song, you know what I'm saying, for their moment. And then when the movie's done, you're not backing Melly with some equipment or some extras or whatever. You didn't just work to hire. And when cats were selling themselves out, you now giving your personality, you giving your personality to the stream. You know what I'm saying? You giving it to, okay, Whitney Houston's coming out with a record. Let me lend her my audience and put a rap on there because she can't rhyme or she can't do whatever. So you may bust a little verse. You're now meshing the hip hop into that R&B situation, okay? And when the success, because that marketing is so high and out of control, bro, you really can't do no wrong there, because who's rhyming like a Brooklyn or Bronx cat or Deep West Coast bus on an R&B song? You know what I'm saying? That was like unheard of at a time, even to a point where EPMD did the crossover law and was trying to make it like, don't do this, don't do that. And it would look funny of him now to do something with Marvin Gaye, you know, later on down the line, but we grow. And we got to realize that there is music that's part of our DNA, because we take from breaks. We take from different things, but we should not be selling the power of hip hop into certain areas. I think it's gone too far. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's gone so far to a point that some of these singers think they're nicer than us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't go in their world like my voice can hit the certain bass or whatever case may be. We have like a silent clash, because a lot of those cats went to singing because the rap wasn't as strong. But when you in the lab all the time, the rhyme can always go stronger. So you always make it like you better than those, and this is not a war between us. So now you got hip hop and R&B in the same building, but they at war on the low. And now the people can only hear it when it's together now. So the new generation is singing everything in lullaby, Mary Had a Little Lamb, whatever the hell is rhythmic and easy to catch. It's like a weird freestyle, I can do this all day type of situation, and they pay me for this.
Yeah.
But it dumbs down music theory, it dumbs down composition, all the little elements where the rock bands, the classic music, you name it, none of them are suffering in that realm, but rap music always becomes like, or hip hop music, let's say, it always becomes the experiment, the guinea pig. Let's try this. Let's try it with rock. Look at Run DMC merging with rock. Now in that place, you're on a rock label that people misinterpret as like a solid rap label. Rap label to me is like Loud Records, or one of those places that's what they do. And you got the Pharoah Monches and you got the Most and all that kind of stuff. Now, when you're fusing hip hop, Def Jam was one of the most powerful like hip hop rock labels in the world. You got Rick Rubin there, and you got bomb ass producers all day long. That fusion worked. You understand what I'm saying? So in that case, you're not selling out. You're fusing to become a unique situation. Yeah. All right. So now when you do a record with Aerosmith, that's what you're supposed to do as a rock brand. Okay, we gotta build on branding in this thing at some point, because you don't sign the contract just to be you thinking you fly. That's like a ball player saying, yo, I do this at the neighborhood court all the time. It's not gonna fly in the NBA. You gotta bulk up in the NBA. You gotta increase your practice to 4 times a day. You ain't got time for whatever. Cats don't take it serious. You end up being that conscious artist. That next album you singing MC Hammer type joints and wearing penny loafers and baggy pants and shit. You know what I'm saying? The genie pants. And you don't know how you got there.
Right.
Because the people come to you and say, yo, in order for us to continue this professional relationship and you get some cheese, you're going to have to do something that's in the realm of making us money. It looks like the little Young Thug shit is popping right now. Why don't you put some baggy shit on, twist your hat to the side, take off that shit you got on, and let's go.
Right. Right.
You know, and a lot of artists stepped out of that, and the ones who stayed, now you're a puppet. That's another version of selling out. I gotta eat. How many times have you heard that? Yo, man, that's all good and everything, but I gotta eat.
Every day.
And
every day. That's the number one trump card that someone uses when they want to justify some bullshit.
Correct.
In anything, not just music. Whenever somebody wants to justify their fuck shit,
yeah, I gotta eat. And you ain't eating for long, and they're giving you scraps, you know, and they ain't even giving you what you eat. You know what I'm saying? You eating dog food. You ain't even eating the real shit. So now after that experience and you still go nowhere, now what? Now you angry. Now you want to yell at the mic. Now you harder than the hardest, and you this, that, and the other, and everything is whatever. You just an angry simpleton at that point, my lord. You know, someone's compromised you. Now you way on the dark side doing the Gollum now. You wild and try to get the ring back. Like, I gotta get back in the circle. Now you hear all these cats licking people ass and blowing head at the office and all of that. Why? Because they missed the lifestyle. The game was made for you to give your expression to the world. If you're successful, make a job of it. But don't plan to make a job of it when you get a contract, dog. It's not, I'm gonna take the rest of the year off and do whatever. You're not that deep yet. It's still the B plan. You still go to the gig and you come to the studio afterward. You still keep your company low. They don't have rules that teach you how to manage in the game with this. So when you hit a spur, you immediately throw your hand up at the first truck coming. You know, you immediately kicking your leg out like a hoe, saying anybody who got it, I'll ride with you. That's the chief reasons of sellout, because you miscalculated. You thought that around the way rap was going to be good for the world. All these people you dissing from the outside, like a consumer yelling at an NBA player on the court, like, oh, you ain't shit, you trash. This nigga might have scored 100 points in his hometown, high school, 50 rebounds a game and come to the league and then get his rhythm, but you yelling at them like you don't know the music industry. You think it's easy. You think it's party every night. You know, it's a thin line between where you prostitute your talent and where you hone your talent. You know, and they're not putting those together. So by the time they figure it out, fork in the road, there's a dick on your forehead.
Getting teabagged.
You know what I'm saying? You try to go left or right, and the dick hits your forehead and says, I'm the gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's it gonna be? Either way you go, you're gonna have to blow because you a star in your head. I can make you a star in this stream because they own how you become popular or not. Now you gotta weigh, is it that important to you? You know what I'm saying? Is your talent truly strong enough that you can go independent with it now and override the dick on your forehead or the left and right? Make your own lane. All right?
Right.
If you ain't got lyrics like that, then you just basically just doing wordplay to me.
I want to go back to touch on the R&B thing that you were talking about because, you know, I think it's important to note that, like, you know, we took from soul and jazz and blues and so many areas, hip hop, right? Breaks. We take from everything and make it our shit. And the R&B, we grew up listening to soulful R&B, like you said, Mom's Cleaning the Crib, right?
Word.
Or whatever. But, you know, it got funny in the 90s, right? Do you remember when, like, just about damn near every R&B song, it was a group name, it was like one name, Total, Black Thought, Black Street, whatever, just
right.
One little simple name. They all sounded alike, and they would sing some shit, and then somebody would come on and rap at the end about shit that had nothing to do with the song. Like, a nigga would come on at the end and just be like, my gun's bigger than yours. And you're like, wait, that's hard as fuck, but like, and it was like rampant in the 90s, and it really, I think, like you said, it kind of merged and muddled the whole shit together, man.
And that's a great point that you just made because the rapper might have heard the beat by itself and just bust whatever. There might have not even been a hook or anything. It's just like, yo, bust a little rap here. Now, the person at fault is a producer, all right? The person at fault is also the artist to say, yo, what's the topic here? Because I got to represent for what it is. So I want to be accurate so other niggas can work in the same vein, not just like add rap here. That's why niggas don't listen right now because it's like, oh, here comes the rap part. And they just keep rocking to the beat. And the person, all they're doing is controlling rides. So they're barely just off the dome in a lab on $1 million song. Now, 15 years later, when you want to go publishing, you look at those bars, and is it really worth you fighting for to get your own shit? You talk about cat in the rat, in the hat, in the this, and the this, and my bitch, and my is that shit worth anything?
Right.
It has no value.
So that,
you know what I'm saying?
That shows then. So that shows, unfortunately, right? That puts a spotlight on how little people respect MCs and how fucked up the craft is that you got all this bullshit in there now. So any people look at rappers, all rappers are the same.
Correct.
And they're just people that talk. I mean, like, and just whatever. Like, and there's no distinction between someone who's a professional at this shit and someone who's just talking shit. And that's the problem. So the fact that somebody was just like, yeah, here's a beat, just say something, it's just filler to them.
Correct. And now hip hop doesn't even have a council or anything to say, yo, man, that shit is weak, cut it out. Like when Timbaland went and got the kid that sounded like Q-Tip. What was his name? The one who was rapping on his early first Missy and them shit. I forgot the guy's name. But he sounded like Q-Tip so much, so it starts to make rap look like nasal rap guy, deep voice rap guy. You start becoming like a category instead of your signature.
Right.
So you leave door for the Bronson dude sound like Ghost. The Panda dude sound like Future.
Somebody said Magoo.
My nephew just hit me, said Magoo. Oh, let's say it on here too. Yeah. Sound like Q-Tip. Where you could have been as Teddy Riley, you could have said, yo, let me go get Q-Tip, put him on this record, make it hot. You go get somebody that sound like that, you know, because you know that's popular because Cypress Hill's running that nasal style. This dude's running that nasal style. So now You're a seasoning. You're not even like, let me reach for the originator of this style and do that. If I heard somebody sound like Sadat X, man, I would be mad as fuck. As unique as his signature is, if I heard somebody just really trying to just ride his shit like that, I would be mad and I would boycott that record. We don't even have that kind of power to boycott cats from biting motherfuckers in our face. When the dude came out, sound like Biggie. Everybody playing that record. Niggas mad on their own, on their little quiet in the barbershop, but nobody said, fuck that. That record is banned. Don't be trying to ride out nigga dick like that, outlandishly like that. But
we have the power. We have the power. I'm gonna cut you real quick. Not to cut you off. We have the power, but we don't use it. We have it. It's there, and that's the fucking problem. It's right there. We got the power.
The power would be the boycott.
Fuck though, but nobody really gave a fuck. Right?
That is correct. You asked what the root of the problem is. We talking about the root of the problem.
There you go.
We don't use the power of our consumership to say, look, we're not listening to the radio, man. These niggas are starting to get out of control. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing more rap on the R&B songs than hard music from around the way with a nice little scratch hook or maybe a hook from something else, not sounding like somebody got to go Whitney Houston on my Wu-Tang song. You know what I'm saying? You can sing a nice melody and keep it 100 hip hop. Right. There was no exchange. So now we start giving 16 bars. Somebody just paying you for a feature and you're not part of the integrity of the song. You're not, there's no way to really weave that. It's two different worlds. I can sing a little bit of R&B, take over 8 bars, but I got to write bar for bar to make 8 bars. But the R&B guy is singing, getting paid more. Why? Because you're stretching a note. You don't give respect to my signature because you feel anybody can do it. You feel like you could just write and just put somebody in front of it. That's where the disrespect begins.
Yeah. That's a big part of the problem. And so another thing I wanted to get into was your take on this, because to me, from an artist perspective, I always say I don't feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, 2 things. I don't feel like as an artist that you can really blow up without selling your soul. I'm saying, when I say blow, I'm saying like blow up. And my question is, to me, it seems like a matter of perspective. Does the artist want to make good music and keep the lights on, put the kids through school and just live a nice life, or does the artist want fame and all that extra shit? And because doesn't that drive?
All right, that's a good point. Now you can be successful in underground rap, and then when I came to the West, I learned that more. Now I looked at cats like Murs, Living Legends, Hyro, crews like that, who were coming out, even some of the Bloody and Project Blow cats and things of that nature. When tours and stuff would happen, the team would invest in themselves. The thing about in the underground, you got to be present. All right? Being present is what gets you your audience. If you're just passing through and you think everybody's just riding your dick because you blew the mic down one night, as soon as the party's over, maybe a week later, you're forgotten about. But if you're coming back on another run and it seems like you get along well with others, you start to gain a little audience. Now, instead of you wasting money on stupid shit, PlayStation 5, this, that, and the other, you buying equipment. You getting a hoopty that can last. You getting a homie mechanic that can fix the car up and keep you running from state to state, city to city for you to be there. You might start off paying to be on a car. Like, when an artist comes in town and is making a special appearance at somewhere local and shit, 50 Cent is going to make a special appearance. You might give the proprietor, the person who runs the get down, and say, yo, man, let me give you $200 or $300. Let me get 10 minutes to bust down my lyrics when the crowd is swollen here. Why not? But because cats want people like, yo, you got to ride my dick. I want you to call me and ask me to perform. Yo, dog, you could perform all the time. If you're worth it, put your bread up on yourself. Would you go make a bet and say, yo, give me $20 to make this bet? I got a vision. You pull the dub out your pocket and you put your shit on your own self. What's the problem with that? This is another level of sellout to me, because now you waiting for the sweepstake check at the door 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Niggas talking about they still coming out. Come on, man. Cut it out, man. Start to become delusional, kind of crazy in the head. That holds the game down. Because while they're hating, they're not part of the audience that's saying, fuck that bullshit. Y'all need to come on home.
Right.
You're not present. You talking from the Instagram and the bullshit. You talking at the barbershop or on the stoop smoking a blunt with somebody. You ain't doing nothing effective. You ain't calling the radio station, yo, nigga, I'm tired. I'm going to get a petition. 100,000 motherfuckers, man, to shut this shit down if you don't stop playing that bullshit. You got to balance it out. And I told cats on this show directly, start with the community stations. They have to play what you want. There is no question. Nah, we'll think about it maybe next week. This ain't the DJ at the club, at the bar, nigga. Like, well, I'll get to that. No, I'm a community motherfucker, and if you don't honor what I'm saying, we're going to burn this motherfucker down. There'll be no support, period. You got to act like you got a bomb on your chest if you want results. Same thing with the power stations. Yo, man, you're going to see a deep decline, and the sponsors are going to start questioning, like, yo, what's up, man? I thought you said, Nasty Daddy had it on lock, man. His record was #1. Our people ain't fucking with that flavor no more. Do it like Herb. When they don't like OG no more, they switch up, or we fucking with runts now. Switch up. Why y'all can't switch off this bullshit? It take niggas to start stripping in schools in front of kids for y'all to feel out the next wave of bullshit that's coming. You know it's coming. That's another sellout.
So to add on to that problem, I feel like people my age and up or whatever, 40s and up, 50s, are part of the problem, because I know when shit started going sour in music wise, I said, I ain't fucking with this shit. I'm listening to this 90s shit. I'm good. I'm good money. I'm good money with 88. 88 was the magical year. I'm good money. I don't need anything else. And I stuck, man. A lot of my peers also were like, yeah, fuck this shit. And we didn't say anything. We didn't do anything. And all of a sudden, and then in 2011, 2012, I'm seeing niggas in skinny jeans and shit. I'm asking my daughter, like, what the fuck is going on and shit. And then it's now it's upon us, and we ain't do shit. So I feel like, and some people disagree with it at my age. They're like, oh, it's all the young cats. But I feel like as elders, we didn't say enough when the snowball, when the avalanche started.
Right.
We let that snowball fucking pick up speed quickly.
Yeah, but how would we have known? What we were doing was never done before. Ain't nobody ever took hip hop to become a multi-million-dollar business before our generation, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How would we have known that there was a snowfall coming to say, yo, watch out for that?
Yeah, we would have known, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It seems like, it seems like we wised up a bit too late, I guess. I mean, I feel like we could have, maybe we could have maybe a little earlier.
I dig you, and we're wiser now, all right? So you look back and say, damn, that's how they did that. I remember when this started. I remember that Wax song back in the days, Crack It Up. What's the guy's name? I forgot the DJ's name. Let's crack it up. And he was talking about actual crack smoke, that because they thought crack was going to be like a favorite thing because it was cheaper and allowed you to burn cocaine. So it wasn't like the zombie drug that it's become. So Cass was burning it, chopping it up in their weed, making woolers, all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Okay? And then the song came out, Let's Crack It Up. And now niggas started dying, but yet this is a quiet street anthem that's not playing on the radio. It's doing like an Eazy-E thing, rolling on the underground pirate radio. You got weirdos in the game, bro. That's why the game is so crazy right now. The weirdos can come outside and play. Well, before they inside looking through the window like, fuck the world. Now they're like, oh, now I can be a part. Tell you what to call me and all kind of crazy shit. But the weirdo shit started then. Remember, rap was an experiment. If you got a nigga acting like John Wayne, and then you got a dancing Jew, what's the guy's name? Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, why don't you sing country music, dog? Why you come in here singing rap? Why don't you go sing some rock and roll or some shit, dog? Why you coming here singing rap? You come to spit on the game. Y'all, cause it's like, oh, put rap here. Oh, twist your voice. Sound like Kermit the Frog. Sound like whatever. You spitting on our craft. For every person that puts the pen down correctly. But who do we go and tell? Ooh, he's bad. Teacher, spank this nigga. Who you gonna tell? This game ain't got no fucking rules.
We need some, and we talked about that numerous times. So damn, it's already almost 8:40. So the next area I wanted to get into though, and this is like
Hold on, my lord. I didn't mean to cut you. One of the people asked what about the Southern hip hop.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Where's it say? I'll pin it. Hold on. Let me. Where do you see it? What's it say?
It says, "Do you feel the Southern hip hop scene ruined it as well?"
I'm gonna pin it.
And that's very good because look, I'm glad that Southern artists found their own sound because it was always made to be like they'll just follow the wave. Same thing with the Midwest. So if New York set it off and Funkmaster Flex hits the horn 3 times, then all the Midwest DJs are taking that record and copy and paste. They made it to where you're not even welcome on that side of the zone if you're not rapping at the tempo and pace of what's going on. Now, it creates a separatism. You know what I'm saying? It creates a great divide, but I'm glad that they're not following anybody else's shit. You're not following the West. You're not following overseas. You're not doing none of that. You got your own power. I felt New York should have did that long time ago. Fire them program directors and get a more worldly view. How we the mecca of hip hop in New York, and we not even playing all channels of hip hop. You're supposed to be able to say, yo, at 5 o'clock, the such and such comes on. That's all the way to 7. From 1 to 4, this is this. Woo, woo, woo. That's how it used to be. And then when you want to hear the raunchy shit after 9 o'clock, if your kid is up sitting with a boombox, then you're fucked up as a parent, and you check your own shit. Now you hear Luda, Young Thug, this, that, the other. It was a balance. Now cats have enough money to buy the whole goddamn radio shit. It's only 24 hours in the day. So if I'm Puffy and I'm saying, yo, I got 8 of those, and then another Master P come and say, I got 5. We had 13 hours. Where we going? Now who else coming in? All these crews now have money. All right? You can take over a region. Imagine if I take that same money to a small town and say, I'm buying this station. I'm buying these hours. Let's do business now because it ain't about this rap. It's about that bread. All right? If you got 100,000 consumers and you waiting for one man to decide how to spend money, y'all are the money that he's spending. Okay? The reason that the sponsor even gets behind the one artist is because he feels that I can guide these 100,000 people to follow me into an arena, to the merch shop, to whatever the fuck. Right. So they give him the baton. We vote these people in. And if we don't feel that way, then why is it still cracking, dog? You feel me? You got that much people who love this coon bop type of music so much that it overrides the true feeling of the people. This is an agenda, okay? This is an agenda cracking on us, and it's already divided us. Look how far we went back to the 80s, dog. We're 2023, and we talking about the 80s when the seeds was being planted, and we was dancing and bopping and buying all the clothes and trying to look like whoever the fuck, it was or whatever, and we didn't even know what we were supporting. These labels have never given us shit back, and then after all this time of buying cassettes and CDs and all this other shit, you give us this shit to listen to? We can't even see the evolution of the shit that we fuck with. How Black Thought got an album out, dog, it ain't #1, yet some new kid from Bubblefuck could be manufactured in a minute and then get a Grammy the same year, and we ain't even get to hear none of his shit, dog.
Because they look at it all the same. And until we fucking take some more ownership of our shit, it's gonna be like we still getting shit on, man. That's basically, and we're allowing ourselves to get a shit. They look at it all the same. Black Thought to the corporate shit, Black Thought is the same as Lil Uzi and Lil whoever the fuck. Like any Pharaoh Monch could be it's the same as Lil Tit Nipple. It's the same motherfucker.
Correct. So I'm saying like this. Why does the love never reach there? If it doesn't matter, then why those specific people all the time? Why is it someone that would sign the 360 deal and sell their life away versus Pharoah Monch who's gonna say, fuck you, nigga, get out my face? You don't want to fuck with the veteran.
Priority.
You're correct. And that's where we have to look at. What is the priority? What is this music supposed to be doing so much that some young girl out of Bubblefuck, Florida can get up and inspire my daughters to be black and be rich and all this shit, but you got your pussy lip hanging out your shit. You ain't even got no class in this motherfucker. Yet you gonna come and talk about, yeah, this is how you be black and independent and all this other bullshit or whatever. No, this is how a nigga takes something out of the mud and just alter it and just make it something else. You ain't even living your destiny, sellout shit like that. But they call it success. Like, this is my calling. This is what it is. Nah, man. Ain't nobody put a stamp on that. Any female artist that I would represent and love and respect has paid dues that I can go back and say, see here, see here, see here. All right? Lauryn Hill didn't pop up overnight. She went through her wax phase and went through shit. And then they improved themselves and became the hip hop band. You know what I'm saying? Still keeping it true to the grain of lyric and bust. I don't know too many raunchy songs coming out they fucking mouth. And it wasn't like the Amin Ra rap and the Superstars and the Universe type of rap. It was a great balance. That was a great blueprint. Why are they not celebrated? Instead of you giving the Hall of Fame to some trap nigga that just sold a lot of units for a motherfucker, you would make it equivalent. How you compare Cardi B to Aretha Franklin, dog, on any level? How you let gay right people ban Aretha Franklin music because she's a natural woman? We ain't even got no voice to come back and say, fuck you with that. Hands off
What?
the elder.
What?
We ain't even got a voice.
Oh, what you just say happened?
The Gay Lesbian League deemed Aretha Franklin's Natural Woman song as wrong because they don't feel the trans community doesn't feel there's a such thing as a natural woman.
See, I mean, I don't know if you watch Stranger Things, whatever, in my Stranger Things head on. We in the upside down, man. Everything, I don't know, yo. I don't have a fucking answer. It's like, you there? You froze. Oh, yeah.
I think it's hella foul.
So, yeah, I mean, that's that's some crazy shit, man. And that's yeah.
Yo, bro, and there's nowhere to look. There's nowhere to look. There's nowhere to look to say, yo, man, how can we stand in the way? Just like they had the platform to say that, where do we stand on the platform to kick our rebuttal to that? How dare you disrespect my elder like that? And how dare you compare these little simpleton shorties that are not even writing their shit to a composer, writer like that on the level of sales? All right? That's like somebody saying to me, Zion Williams is better than Charles Barkley. No, he is not. I don't give a fuck about rings or hype or how worldwide these motherfuckers are. There was an edge that was in those eras that's different from now. They're not sharpening y'all with the same shit. And it's hard to explain that, but in these areas where we're building, where the sellout begins, now they can start seeing the shit trail that we're talking about, my lord.
Right. I knew you was going to be on fire tonight. So...
You already know. Man.
Yeah,
the
fucking. All right, so this is what I really wanted to get into also before we got out of here. It was, along the same lines where is legends in the game. It makes me want to throw up, man, when I see legends flicking up, co-signing, doing work. Nigga, like this country nigga, whatever, got this dude's name. Nas X? What the fuck is a Nas X? So the co-signing, yo, has got me. So Queens niggas, Lost Boys, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, 90s group, did a trap album. It was one of the, I don't know.
I mean,
so
where would you be confused at, bro? Nas is a pop entity now. He does not belong to the Queensbridge, Coogee Rap, Get Down, whatever the fuck. You above that, my nigga. It's somewhere else. Your homie is Jay-Z, like, what's up? I be down the hall. It's different. So that song comes to like, here's the 50 grand, and when it's done, here's another 50 grand on the back. That's where that comes from. It ain't that. This might have been an assignment where he was dressing like Toy Story and shit. before he turned into the demon of the garden and shit, you know, the Nas X kid, when he was still dressed in the cowboy hat and the situation. That deal might have came across the table, but now overnight, homeboy turned into the lick in the butt, hell on earth type of artist on his videos and shit, and then you're stuck to honor a contract. Okay? If I'm a cowboy Western artist and I got the #1 record in the world, dog, and I come to you, Nas, you're my inspiration, and you don't see no red flags. It ain't no leather, it ain't no lipstick, it ain't no nothing going on. You say, yo, man, I'll do a record with him, and that would be ill. Let's make it happen. Yo, Blaze, you know, put some shit together, whatever the fuck it is. And then it waits months later because, you know, you busy man. And then it comes back to the table, yo, that song with Homeboy is due. He might not even been part of that. That could have happened. I had to look at it from the benefit of the doubt side because why would you want to run that agenda to us? The people that support you don't even fuck with that. They mad because they kids was singing cowboy redemption song, whatever the fuck he was doing, and now you totally flipped. You ain't even doing country no more, dog. We couldn't even celebrate a black country artist blowing out everybody. Now you know the reason behind that, bro. You ain't gonna be #1 in they world. You ain't gonna be keeping your little Toy Story clothes on and rolling across the Nashville country music award, accepting no shit with your homies and shit, nigga. You ain't doing that. You ain't beating these people that been on the ranch writing this shit, crying to the cows and horses, nigga. You ain't doing none of that shit. You better get gay real fast. Cut that shit out. And we'll get you some records with your idols to throw your people off because everybody forgot about the Western song and start fucking with him on this new biting the apple and spanking the nigga on the ass and Puffy talking about yes, be brave and all kind of stupid shit. Come on, man. They created a drama around this dumb shit, bro. I don't think Nas would sign up to no shit like that, man. On everything. I really don't think so. I didn't even think the dress on CeeLo was real when I saw the wedding dress, bro. I felt like Forrest Gump, dog. I said, yo, I missed this. What's going on? Why they playing with CeeLo like this? CeeLo was one of the nastiest niggas I know, dog, and I don't give it up. But CeeLo was nice. And when they showed me this nigga on the cover talking about, yo, this is CeeLo coming out with his new shit, got a wedding dress on, I was upset. But what am I supposed to say? Nothing? Because, oh, that's the homie. You know, we don't bash on the homie. No, man, I don't want my homies wearing no dress. And then he blows up. And then they start making him like an Elton John for black folks. And I'm saying, yo, that's Goody Mob, man. And I want to see him successful on a level where he takes that and this singing shit.
That's motherfucking cell therapy, nigga.
That's some buzz. Yeah, you feel me? That's the back in the day, the real country shit.
That's fucking, yeah, and when I saw the aluminum foil space cadet shit or whatever, that's Goody Mob.
That should upset me. And when I mentioned it, they want to attack me because I'm saying, yo, my hero is dressed in a dress and I shouldn't say nothing about it. I was embarrassed, my lord.
That shit was wild. I was like, when I saw him, I was kind of, again, I had my head down as far as what was going on in the world with a lot of this shit. And when I saw the change up, I didn't think it was him. I was like, oh, that's, because I'm like, I just know Goody Mob, right? You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, I'm like, wait, that's CeeLo? That's CeeLo. Like, you know what I mean? That blew my fucking mind. You still there, family? Brother Jay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're back. I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying when I saw that joint, I didn't even think it was him.
I didn't know, bro. How did you feel? Tell me how you felt, because I thought I was crazy.
At first, I was in disbelief. I had to look it up and be like, oh, CeeLo Green, because they were saying CeeLo Green.
Correct.
And I was just like, oh wait, I mean, I know of a CeeLo from Goody Mob, but I'm like, that can't possibly be the same dude. And you know what I mean? I'm like, did the knowledge on it? I'm like, wait, hold up. Hold up. And yes, I was very disappointed. And so whether it's Nas or anybody, man, I mean, again, it's not about the names, it's about the practice, it's about the culture as far as like of getting down and getting in bed with and co-signing the trash and whack shit, man. And when like 15 years when we know you're cut from Better Claw. I mean, that's the disappointing part, man. It's just disappointing.
But I say this: in order for these artists to step up in the evolution of how we have known them, the audience has to step up to them. We have to voice these disappointments. If niggas had celebrated that Busta Rhymes song, I went on that page and I saw the disappointment, and they were like, "Yo, man, what the hell are you doing, dog? This is not."
A lot of heads on there showing love.
Yo, bro, that shit was just it was heartbreaking. And then I saw people felt like me on the page, like, yo, man, what's going on? I wondered if they were gonna kiss his ass, like, yo, God, it's shit, man, and you got that girl and da 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 da. Now worldwide, you're gonna get love because the people are on bullshit because they think America is on bullshit. We dictate a lot of the music power for the world, bro. That's crazy, man. Why would you do that?
Yeah, and that was very disappointing to see. But I saw people on his page showing love, some prominent names going fire, fire. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, so
exactly, man.
It's ridiculous, man. And it's like, you made a good point. I always say this, you know, we talked about all these different components of where it's going wrong. So we looked at the artist, we're looking at the industry, we're looking at the responsibility of the fan to say, fuck this shit. But you know what happens when a fan, me or any other show, says, fuck this shit, calls it out and says it's trash? Nigga, I get death threats, B, like over saying shit. Oh, yo, when I said about Busta, guys was like, yo, they always go back to what he's done.
Right.
Oh, yo, because they all in their feelings. They're not looking at the real shit, man. So that's the disappointing part right there. Like,
that was very disappointing, bro. That was very disappointing.
Fucking dick riding so hard, man. They got hernias, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where the problem lies, because now you got a split in the audience, and then it's labeled as some people don't want to move on to new things versus people who are stuck on old things. And I'm saying, look, I thought that Busta, I think that Busta is one of the most talented lyricists. I think he was bored. You know, if you look at the game right now, you know, when he was in, Cass was trying to come up, and this motherfucker was making hits to show that he could stay in the stream, but you stay true to the street. Perfect example of the one who was successful with that is 50 Cent. Okay? Very successful. And he still howls about guns and pussy and bullshit, but it's done in a way that the street can say, yo, that's hard as fuck. And in the club, you can still toast your champagne and do whatever the fuck. An excellent balance.
Yeah, he has done it well. I mean, I don't fuck with him like that, but I looked at that over here. I'm like, damn, this dude's got some longevity. He's got some staying power. He's been able to move around, and he still seemed like 50 Cent from 2002. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
better than DMX.
But he's done it. You know, did the power shit. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, real quick, we got 5 minutes, and I don't want us to get cut off. Where, in a nutshell, if we could do that, where do we go next?
I think more consumer power, like we're saying, to shut things down, because the records are just going to get worse.
Right.
And if you don't start shutting down some of the commercial power that some of these people have, the social power, let them wake up and 100,000 people are gone. And in another day, another 50,000 is gone, until you stop programming us in a negative fashion. I think that is the only way someone's going to fuck with you. Write to the sponsor, say, yo, man, they're using your money to fuck us up. Write to them. Checks. Shit changes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, man.
No, I mean, I think it's a good point to close out on. When there is some power it's like there's a gun over there and nobody's going to get it. Like, we have the power to do something as consumers. And so I think, and the money is where motherfuckers they feel it there. They feel it. They'll change the game up if the money changes.
There's no way to measure if we don't put the input in, bro.
Yeah.
And if they see us forming, yo, they took over the community stations in 7 regions, then they know you're serious. That's a movement. All right. Look, and if you don't believe me, and I put it in a nutshell, look at Kid Rock shooting up the light beer and a company losing $4 billion. from one goddamn tweet. So you mean to tell me dope, skinny ass Kid Rock, I like Kid Rock. Kid Rock would get on there, shoot these goddamn shits. Nobody checking for the gun. You would go to Ja Morant's house for flashing a gun in the car, but you never fuck with Kid Rock. And meanwhile, a whole movement started enough to boycott Bud Light worldwide in a heartbeat. Shut it down, and now that very shit is off the shelves. What's our problem? We saying we can't go to a station to say, yo, play decent music so I can teach my kid better? Take these nasty ass fucking bullshit books out of the school and teaching my kid how to fuck anally at 5 years old or some stupid shit? You can't go down to the school and blow shit up?
Yeah.
We don't have balls. This is why they say we're feminized. We don't have the balls. The ones who have the balls got to get together and make something crack, bro. It's as easy as that. It's not even rocket science, man.
There it is. There it is. Step up to the plate. So we're gonna get out of here. So real quick, somebody said they want me to post this up. All of our builds, all 29 prior shows, and this one are all on the Carrying the Culture YouTube channel, which you should be following because all of them are there. So and all of our other shows are there too. So, but if you want to see all 30 shows, they're all there. So this will be there in a few days. But we will get a clip up. Brother Jay, thank you, fam. Always. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, yo, appreciate you, man. He was hollow points, man. I was like, Bob and Lee.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Blessings, man, and thank everybody for joining us, man. You know, keep up with us, man. We're gonna keep bringing the wisdom, man. You know. Yeah,
we do this the first Wednesday of each and every month, everybody. So so it's always we've been doing it for 2 years, so we keep pushing. So episode 30 in the books. Thank you for rocking with us. We'll do it again. I'll talk to you soon, fam.
All right.
And again, thank you, yo. You can choose to be somewhere else, and everybody who was here, you chose to rock with us, so we appreciate it.
Indeed.
So
blessings, family. 100.
Look.